There are stories of overcoming the odds, and then there is this story. What Jonah Meyer Carruthers has been through is almost hard to put into words. Literally, from the day he was born, he's been fighting an uphill battle just to survive. The soccer field is Jonah's spot to get away, a place where he doesn't have to worry about all he's been through. This is where his story is being written now. But to be honest, it's a miracle that he's out here at all.
As many of you know, I was adopted, but what you probably don't know is the reason why.
This is the letter that Jonah wrote in 5th grade for the DARE program. It's where he revealed the struggles he faced at birth. His birth mom was found doing drugs in the hospital parking lot. He had a stroke at birth. Doctors said he'd likely never walk or talk, and he was diagnosed with cerebral palsy.
As a baby, I went through drug withdrawals and seizures for about 9 months.
The letter he wrote that day was a chilling reminder of what he'd been through. Experts had every reason to believe that he wouldn't be where he is today, but the doctors obviously hadn't met anyone quite like Jonah.
He started walking at 8 months old, and he's had the soccer ball ever since then, running up and down the field and in the house, and that's just been who Jonah is soccer.
That decision to give him a soccer ball at a young age continues to pay off today. The fact that he's still alive is a miracle in itself, but this story isn't even close to over. His soccer skills continued to blossom. He began playing travel soccer, but his soccer career was put on halt when he began having chest pains about 3 years ago.
The nuclear portion of the study was unremarkable, and because of his persistent symptoms, I brought him into the cardiac catheterization laboratory, and that's really where his story begins.
Jonah was diagnosed with coronary sinus stenosis. He had to have open heart surgery. The harsh reality is that Jonah was once again fighting for his life.
Now, where Jonah had his problem was right here, just right before it exits into the right side of the heart to get recycled into the lungs. He had a significant area of narrowing. Make no doubt, this would have failed in the long run, and he would have been a statistic at the age of 13 or 14 or 15 on the soccer field, doing what he loves to do, and would have likely dropped dead.
The condition was so rare that doctors had a hard time finding the problem. There are only about 80 documented cases like this in the world, according to Dr. Suarez.
It's hard because that's your son, and to think that he might be dead. And that's why, like I always tell everybody, when I see Jonah playing soccer and we see him running up and down the field, I don't care if he never scores a goal. Sure, that's a bonus and that puts a smile on my face, but to know he's overcome all this stuff and he could be dead, it's amazing.
He is the example of everything that a coach talks about with his team. So many coaches talk about hard work. They talk about perseverance. They talk about fighting through things. They talk about all those buzzwords. And Jonah, he's living it every day. I mean, what he does, I don't think can necessarily be quantified.
Call it what you want, a miracle, an act from above. Jonah is lucky to be alive. Today, Jonah is healthy as can be. He's a happy, active, hard-working teenager. His story is still being written, and so far, he hasn't let any hurdle slow him down.
No, I feel like my life's pretty good, perfect, actually, right now, because I love my family, my friends, and just like the environment that I'm in.
Andrew, in the piece that I mentioned there, that he had that rare heart condition, Dr. Suarez tells me he's currently writing about this for medical literature. Jonah's case could certainly help other kids in the future, and really just an incredible, incredible kid.
We can all learn a lesson from Jonah here, never to give up.